think, okay, well, everybody, it is officially Tuesday night. Our Partner Plus call 7:30 Eastern time, and I got to get used to it 6:30. I just touched down in Illinois, so I am officially on the ground here in Chicago and getting ready for a very, very busy, busy
Want
week
to
out here.
mute everybody first, Brendan?
Yeah, I thought co-host could do that, but okay.
There you
Is
go.
that
You're good.
someone did that?
I did
Um,
it. You're good.
oh wow, Kirk, you're amazing. You're a jack of all trades. So yes, I'm officially here. I'm up by Rosemont, a town called Rosemont, which is next to the meeting places where we're going to have meetings for the next 7 business days. And for those of you that are calling outside or calling in from places that aren't in Illinois, you're more than welcome to invite anyone that you may know or anyone in your team knows to come meet Eddie and I, my brother Ed and I. I'm picking him up in a little bit. He's flying in tonight, so we're excited to be here. We have a busy, busy day tomorrow. We have a busy, busy day Thursday. Michael Falquist will be coming in. The CEO of our company will be flying in to do another launch party at the Oak Brook. Actually, let me pull up the website. And for those, Kirk, maybe you can put the website or somebody in our chat so you guys can easily. Let's see, where is it? Where's my? There it is. Can you guys see my screen? So Kirk or someone will put this link into the chat where you guys can quickly, maybe we can disable the chat or unable it. But this is the site that anyone can book time with us. The obviously we're here the week tomorrow at the Office Evolution right there on West Higgins Road, Suite 110. It's a beautiful conference room with state of the art equipment. It's got a beautiful TV. It's got a beautiful draw board. If you really want to bring people up to really explode your business and really, we show the plan. So your prospect's just going to get a very good overview of the company, and then we're going to dive in and our goal is to get them registered, start them off on the right path, show them the vision of what this is really all about, share the excitement. There's going to be some really good people, by the way, there tomorrow that have already gotten a dozen or more batteries sold, and so if I lived in Illinois and I had an opportunity to come up and learn about the most amazing product in the world firsthand from somebody who's actually doing it, I'd be all over that. It's just a way. If you want to build your business and really start to expand your network, these are the types of events that really accelerate it. But all you got to do is go here, hit reserve, and then it'll take you to, put your name in. So we just want to know who you are and who you're if you're bringing guests, and then obviously once you reserve your seat.
Brendan, at the last slide, what are those times? Are you going to be there all those times, or is that for something else?
No, I'm going to be here every single one of these times. So
So it's
first
in the
time.
morning.
Yep, it's 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock. This is Central Time, by the way.
Thank you.
So yeah, everything's in Central. So, but yeah, listen, this you can see these are the dates and times we're going to be there. And so please take advantage of that. And then obviously, if you go on this website, you'll see that the following after we're done, Kirk Horan flies in, and him and his and then he's back at the Hyatt Lodge in Oak Brook to do the meetings, and he'll be doing 3 meetings a day with my brother Jim and his wife. So that's just between the 24th and the 10th of July, you can really kind of build massive momentum, even going into our convention. But the big night, the big two events coming up as well is the actual launch. Michael Falquist was coming in, and you can register for that as well right on our site. You can bring as many guests. Obviously, you're encouraged to bring as many people as possible to this. This is an incredible event. We have the room set for 400 or 500 chairs. We have an incredible presentation. I'm going to be doing the overview. I'm the MC and the slash business overview. So for those of you that have never seen me do a live presentation, you're in for a treat. I promise you, I will not disappoint you. I'm here to help you grow your business, right? So I got to make sure I get to communicate what we're all about. But then most importantly, Michael Falquist is going to share his vision, the CEO of where we're going, and really kind of dive in to some facts that are really important. I mean, there's some facts that he's going to share that are just going to be mind blowing in terms of timing of why our opportunity is so good at this particular place and time and what's coming. See, part of seeing a vision is to understand your future and Michael and his team and their data and all the things and their experience 20 plus years in the industry, they know exactly what's going on in the energy industry and they can articulate that to show you why they're doing what they're doing. And our company, for all of you that are new, our company's goal, by the way, over the next 2 years is to save our consumers $1 billion on their electric bill. That's our goal. Michael, it's in our presentations now. That's our company goal. And so, in order to get $1 billion worth of savings, we're going to deploy, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of batteries all around this country. And you'll see and hear that vision. And your guests, if they're in that room, they're just going to know. They're first of all, I'm telling you, I've been doing this for too long to know that it's when you walk into a room and there's three, four, 500 people, you don't even have to close it. I mean, you could basically say, "Hey, thanks for coming. Hey, you can just sign up." It's you don't even have to show them anything. I mean, people realize that in order to get a room that packed, that A, you must have good leadership. To get a room that's packed, you got to have people that promote. So so guests can be like, "Wow, there's a lot of people here. How did that happen?" So they're going to automatically know that they're part of something special that night. And then by the time it's done, now I will promise you this because I've been working with the company all week to run through the deck and how the night's going to go. We're going to release that room no later than 8:30. And what I mean by releasing a room, meaning, there's people flying in from all over Bella Würzburger and Nick are flying in from New York to be at that event. We got Big John flying in. We got Kirk flying in. You have the best of leadership in that room. So we want to give your prospects and you, who are EAs, who maybe only see us on Zooms, we want to give you an opportunity to meet with us, to get to know us, to bring your guest up to us, to have questions answered, and just get personal. And so when you can release a room at 8:30, so if you're expecting a big long meeting, it's not going to be. It's going to be right to the point, and it's going to be more about building relationships and starting to build your business. And when it's 8:30, your prospects that you work so hard to get into that room, they're sitting and looking at their watch saying, "Wow, I got a little bit more time. I can hang a little bit." And that time is valuable when it comes time for stuff like when you're building a business, because then you can start to build your dreams together. But anyway, then obviously whoever signs up that night, we're gonna obviously at the same hotel, we give them the opportunity to come in and get trained on our Super Saturday. Where once again you can.
Brendan, I just want to point out the address is a little bit different. It's across the street for parking.
Yeah.
See, it's 2815, and then 2715 is in the building across from the lake at the Hyatt. So it's a little bit different.
Same place, just a little bit different because you got to go. It's two buildings, and you just got to. If you go up to the main hotel, you're gonna have to walk a while. So you can just put it in your GPS, and it'll take you right
Hey,
to the place.
Brendan,
Yeah.
this is Mike. Hey, how you doing, brother?
Hey, Mike.
So
Mike. Boy.
the Super Saturday, it's a separate building across the lake, but there's parking right in front of it. That's the 2715. So Thursday night is in Hyatt Lodge. It's right next. The ballroom is right next to the front desk in the lobby. It's a Super Saturday. You don't want to go to the hotel because it's a long walk. You can just park right in front of the conference center at 2715. There's parking out front, and you can just walk in. So if you put 2715 in your GPS, it'll take you right where you got to go.
Wow, Mike, are you stuffing a lobster sandwich, or can you come on?
I'm having rice pudding.
I knew you were doing something.
Um,
Listen, I want to give you a special shout out because for all of you that don't know Mike Kay here, he was kind enough with Big John to run all of the meetings that we had our first week. That and Mike, maybe you can talk a little bit because you were there. You were meeting people live. I mean, I know you got some rice pudding all over your eyeballs and up your nose right now, but come on. I know, give us some love here. Well,
yeah,
how was your week?
I'll tell you what, it was awesome. Everybody that came out was in. I mean, they're just, and what was interesting, Brendan, is people that would never be in network marketing, just and not to say anything negative about network marketing because we're all network marketers, but people that were high end, almost, one guy was like a huge mortgage broker in the state of Illinois. He lives in an upper class neighborhood area. And he's like, but he belongs to 3 country clubs. So I guarantee you he's got Grey Poupon in his refrigerator without a doubt. So this guy was all over it. I mean, so it's our innovation, it's our technology, it's the battery. We have such a compelling story now, such a compelling offer, not only to our customers, but to potential business people, our partners. And let's face it, nobody has enough money saved for retirement. And when you touch base on the 15 years of guaranteed residual income, you see people, perk up in their chairs. So, yeah, it was great. Looking forward to seeing you guys this week and next. And of course, we're just inviting like crazy to get as many quality people in front of Michael on Thursday.
Geez, you said Michael, and you didn't even say me. Thanks, man. That makes me.
Well, we love you too.
That's all right. Listen, I gotta type my name for anyone that doesn't. No wonder you don't even think about me because it just says Think Big Partners. All right, there you go. I changed my name. So let's talk about the excitement of kind of like to your point, Mike. We have we have people that are watching us, and what I mean by watching us is like they're watching from afar, from a distance, and they're just kind of poking their head in to see what our leadership's all about. They're coming on to Zooms, they're coming on to trainings, and they're starting to research VPP, which is virtual power plants. And by the way, just type that into your Google search and start to research because this is the industry that we're creating. It's a new industry in the energy industry, within the energy industry. And it's important to be up to speed on what a virtual power plant is, and that's what VPP stands for, because the states now that are enticing data centers to be built in their states because of the tax benefits and all that stuff they're going to get out of it, they are writing rules now state by state about how the incentives will work for backup storage and other devices, anything really that can help offset the grid when to meet peak demand. So it's becoming a massive opportunity, and there's mega trillions of dollars that will be invested into this arena over the next couple decades. And it just so happened that Michael Falquist, because he had this proprietary technology that he bought several years ago, about 3 years ago, he saw this play out, but not, he knew about batteries. Like I remember when I was talking to Michael Falquist about batteries 3 and 4 years ago, Connecticut had a really good rebate program on the batteries, but they didn't. There was no virtual power plant discussions. There was no rules. There was no incentives really. And so he goes, I have a technology where if this evolution of VP really takes off, then we have something that's going to be really special. But it really kind of just, he had to focus on where he could really take his technology and make a difference. And he did that with autosave. And we obviously have autosave now, and it's in many states and it's working great. But without telling us, once these rules started being a little bit more liberal towards backup generation, and Illinois is a perfect example of it, where Illinois just has the best incentives in the country right now. But a lot of states are looking at what Illinois is doing, and they're going to follow suit. I mean, it makes sense, right? Obviously, if we solve an issue in Illinois and all of a sudden we have 100,000 homes with batteries, and there's no energy crisis anymore in New Jersey. In 5 years from now, the energy prices are coming down, and everyone's living a good life in Illinois. What do you think everyone else is going to do in this country? They're going to create incentive programs, just like community solar is creating incentives for developers to build farms all over the country. The same thing. So we're really excited. But back to the point of someone that sees this, that's been watching on the sidelines. Bella Wurzberger has a great guest tonight that's been doing just that. And I know she spoke to him today, and I want you, Bella, I want to highlight you and bring on your friend that's been watching us. And I want to hear like what he thinks about our company. And then I also want to hear about like how he wants to participate in our opportunity if he wants to at all. Is that right? It's all about bringing new people on, getting new people's perspectives, and for the network to hear new stories. So Bella Wurzberger, hopefully your guest has joined us tonight.
Yes, he did. Absolutely. So it was really crazy last night. I get a call from David Stoltzman, and he says, I have a very special guest on the phone with me. And I've been seeing this name lately, but I never really knew who the guy is. He was watching us quietly on the sidelines, like you're saying, Brendan. And last night he revealed himself. David says, well, Bella, this guy really came to New Jersey at our live event that we had, Ignite Impact. He was sitting there, he was watching the entire thing, and he heads one of the biggest platforms all across the Jewish world, and called J News 24. And I said, what? And he's on the phone, and all of a sudden he rips onto that phone and he said, Bella, I've been watching you. Let me talk to you. This is something unbelievable. And he started telling me what a revolution we're in front of. And we're in front of a tsunami coming. I thought it was Michael Falkus talking in the other line. I was like, wow, 1 second, who are you? Where are you from? I didn't know where the guy is from. It was so incredible. He got me so wired. I had to take sleeping pills last night after our conversation. I said, David, if you're heading this big, incredible platform and you're one of the biggest influencers out there in the Jewish world, I want you to come and be our validator tonight on the Partner Plus call because he's brand new and he's coming to that. And I spoke to him before and he said, Bella, it's a no-brainer. I mean, I heard your Zoom Sunday and you were coming out. If you don't tell people immediately about this, somebody else will. You were so right. And he had an exact story like that, but I don't want to spill all the beans here. Let's bring on our very special
Oh, who are
guest
we looking
tonight,
for? What is it? Just David? I see a
David
David.
H. David H. He was
Uh,
on before.
the only David
Um,
H we have is David Herzog.
Here he is.
There he is. All right.
Here we go.
Here he is.
All right,
Right.
guys, you
Welcome,
hear me?
David H.
Welcome, welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to start off like this. You know, the energy in the room is absolutely electrifying. All right, Brendan, just hearing you, night after night, I've been on a lot of the calls and a lot of your fellow associates. It's been amazing. And what I like to say, basically, we're talking about timing. Timing is everything. I was having a call the other day with David Stoltzman. We were calling a potential, customer or slash advisor, potentially, right? And we were talking to him, and he loved what he had to, what we had to say, and this was really exciting for him. And he actually knew about the battery because he had it on a smaller scale, basically a battery pack that was powering, his refrigerator, his oven, major appliances, in case of a blackout. So he understood exactly and the value, of what the company brings to the table. And he was saying, you know what? A gentleman in the community has a big "What's up" chat. It sounds very similar. And he has David, you know so and so. And David says, of course, this is one of the Think advisors, So it just shows you that timing is everything. Right now it's hot. The number one thing in America, if you speak to anybody, they want to save money. Everybody wants to save money. One of the only things that we get a bill every month in the mail is an electric bill, right? So I always tell Bella, you never want to make, God forbid, the potential customer feel stupid because a guy that's not in the energy business, he doesn't know about the different options that you have. So this company is educating people, informing people, giving them an opportunity of different ways of how they could possibly save money on their electric bill. I feel like the time is now. We got the rockets out there. We have great engines behind those rockets, right? We got Bella Wurzberger, we got you, Brendan, right? We got Big John, we got David. So there's definitely a great support team out there. That's what I love about the company too, is what? People have a lot of questions, especially if they're starting out. The support team on this group is second to none. I've never seen in any company. You guys really, and I got to hand it to you, Brendan, Bella, you guys are hands on. People have questions. You guys have the answer. All they have to do is go out there, get the people, speak to your neighbors, your friends. You go to the supermarket. This is a subject that is important to everybody. Everybody wants to save money. This is the way to do it. Now with Chicago coming up, I know you guys, the team is on the ground. You got more people coming. Bella's heading there tomorrow. The energy is in the air, right? Everyone, this is the time to get in from the ground up because this is where it's going to happen. This is going to be the case study for the entire country. This goes strong. The rest of the programs, the potential programs, the beginning is going to be from here. You know, we always say the beginning is great, right? That's going to set the standard, set the tone for the company and for the future of the company. So, guys, my message to you all is ready, set, go. Let's do this.
Wow.
Great, David.
Smiley, good to meet
Yeah.
you. Now that you've been hiding in and watching us in the sidelines, I didn't even know who you were, but here you are. Listen, now you're gonna be my
Absolutely.
best friend. It's we're definitely gonna connect a lot of folks that you know, and obviously, as you know, from being from New Jersey, if you're working with David Stoltzman, it's only a matter of time before New Jersey's online, and then what's gonna happen? Oh my goodness, it's gonna be wild. I always say when when Jersey hits, it's like a tsunami. You want to talk about a tsunami? It's going to be incredible. But right now the tsunami's in Illinois, right? And so we and the value proposition for those of you that may not have been paying attention because things happen very quickly in this business. On Friday, we announced that there's a new structure for homeowners in Illinois where the discounts on a 2-year guaranteed savings, they increase the savings from 15% to 25% on the peak times, and then it would go to 28 on the off-peak times. So you got a blended average, somewhere right around 26% you're going to save for the first 2 years. And a lot of questions have been coming around. What happens after the first 2 years? What happens after the 2 years? Well, in our contract, we have the best rate guarantee. So what that means is when competition comes into Illinois, 2 years from now, if someone wanted to get a battery 2 years from now, and whatever that offer would be, so let's say our competitor A, B, and C all have offers of 30% off the utility for their 2-year deal. Well, we will match that or beat it because that's our price guarantee. And so we felt that the company's doing something smart. They know that the VPP is expanding in Illinois and the incentives are so good that there's going to be more competition. So why would we want to hold our consumers to a 15% savings over 5 years when that could be actually a bad deal? Because all of a sudden, in years 3, 4, and 5, you got your competitors selling 30, 40% off there, and you just boxed your customer into 15%. So I think it's brilliant. It's a good move, and that's how the price guarantee works. Now, another question that came up and David was great because he's spot on when he says the people we're educating have no clue how to read. By the way,
Right.
I've been doing this for 20 some years. I've gone probably to 10,000, 20,000 rooms of 100 or more. So maybe a million people I've met in my life in the last 20 years. And I've asked this question everywhere I go. I'm just curious, everyone. It could be a room of 500 people. Can anyone raise their hand and tell me what are you paying for per kilowatt in your home? Can anyone tell me? The guests have no clue, by the way. If you're a guest,
Zero.
they've never been able to
Zero.
answer that question. Zero.
Yeah.
So I always say to somebody, especially in an opportunity presentation, I go, listen, if you don't know what you're paying, if you don't even know what you're paying, how do you even know the value that's being pitched to you if you don't even know what you're paying? So that's why I do love the proposition in Illinois and the way it's going to work through future states is, hey, whatever the price is that you are paying, and by the way, it's on your bill. So next time you want to read your bill, there's a little thing that says price to compare, and it's going to tell you what you're paying, so you can actually find out what you're paying. But we're going to be always at a discount below that price that you're paying. So when that price goes down, because the utility, let's say 5 years from now, the utility goes from 10 cents to 5 cents, and you're at a 25% discount. Well, then your rate's going to be like 2.9 or whatever, three, whatever 25% of 5 cents is. So it always follows the rate of the utility. It's a discount. You're not selling a rate. You're just selling a discount that's guaranteed and it moves with the utility price. That's very nice. And then for those that are absolutely going into the witness protection program, because you might sign up someone for a battery in 2 years from now, they might not even like you anymore. So they didn't even answer your phone call. For those people that aren't answering the renewal letters that come in, because Think will go after them saying, hey, here's the price guarantee we told you about. The market says it's 30% below the utility. Here's just reply that you agreed to the next 2 years and we'll get you in for another 30% off if that's how it is. If they don't do anything, let's say they ignore that, because some people do, they ignore it. They forgot they even signed up for a battery and life goes on and they don't even read their emails. They delete, delete, delete. Our guarantee is then in that case, we will have a default rate that we will put that customer in that's guaranteed to be below the utility. So you can honestly tell your customer for 15 years, regardless, worst case scenario, they will never pay more and they get a free backup generator with the battery system. So that to me, I can feel so confident going into any room and educating anybody about that, knowing that if I build a network that's tens of millions of people, tens of millions of customers, that my customers at the end of the day will always be taken care of. I won't hear negative PR, 10 years from now. I can't believe I signed up for this company. They screwed me after year three. That doesn't happen because the contract protects the consumer. So you can feel very good about going out and building a massive organization yourselves and knowing the company's not going to let you down. So anyway, that's exciting. So David, thank you for your amazing insight into our company and obviously having a pulse of what's going on with your industry because you're in the know of a lot of things that are going around in politics.
Absolutely. So again, I deal with so many different industries, but this industry, I knew about a lot of things I know. The energy one, absolutely zero. I did not know about this. So I was so inspired, by your past presentations about this. I said, we need to get this out there. This is something that hits home to everybody. And now's the chance. It's a monumental launch. And this is the opportunity for every single person to be part of this, to be joined with the company and take it to the next level.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. It's
Oh,
great
thank
to
you for
have you
having
on.
me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Look forward to working with you as we get
Hey,
going here.
hey,
So,
Brad,
Likewise. Thank
let
you.
me hop in for a minute here.
yeah.
So you meet a gentleman like David, and I want to just start off by saying welcome to the family, David, right? You meet a guy that gets it so quickly. But here's the thing. There's a lot of Davids out there, right? And I hear a lot of people say, John, I approached 6 people, they're not doing nothing, or they didn't respond back. My message to everybody, if you keep flipping the cards, the aces like David will appear. I mean, Brendan, there's 5 people I have coming to the meeting. And me and Mike were working it, doing meetings. I was going to do meetings in people's offices, run. Anybody that goes out to Chicago and flies out on a Thursday morning, I can guarantee you between the people on the plane, the people, the Uber driver, the people at the hotel, everybody is pretty much receptive to this. If you just ask them a few key questions, let them give you the answers. They'll tell you right away, in one way or another, that they're interested in taking a look. Our job is to pique people's curiosity. And the people that have that 3-foot rule, like Bella Wurzberger, Kurt Coran, yourself, there's no coincidence why the people that are the top leaders, they're the biggest promoters, right? They refuse to stop sharing the gift. I call it sharing the gift that we all have. Now, for the people out in Chicago, I've made 120 phone calls since I've been home. I just got back from Chicago. And my message is, you don't know who that next ace in the deck is. Get everybody at that meeting by hook or crook. Invite 50 people. Invite 100. Write the list. Make the calls. Pique the curiosity. And good things will happen, I guarantee you. So welcome to the family, David. Great to have you.
John, I will say that it's too bad that you weren't around when all the telecom industries weren't going into business, I made 187 calls on AT&T and not one of them kicked out. I mean, you would have taken each phone company to the stratosphere if they knew about you back in the day. But yeah, listen, congratulations. And listen, as I like to say it, piquing interest is very important, but education is even more important. So, because at the end of the day, piquing interest is one thing. They'll come look at the plan, but you got to educate folks about what we're doing. And this is a little bit more of a complex product. It's such a great product for the consumer, but you got to really spend the time to know. You become an artist of knowing what you have to be able to answer some questions, some basics. I'm hearing the top five. Let's go through them, everyone. I mean, Tony, you've been hearing them every day. You do it. You were doing the Q&A. I mean, what is the top three questions that everyone's going to ask? So if we all could answer those top three and we didn't have to go somewhere, guess what? It moves the process faster because we answered the question before we had to say, oh, go to this Zoom because they'll answer your question. No, you should be able to answer the basics, right? Tony, what are the top three questions that everybody asked in this
Yeah,
thing?
look, I mean the number one question that's coming up on meeting after meeting after meeting, always in the chat. Everybody who's raising their hand, it's all about it sounds too good to be true. How on earth can the company afford to be able to give someone a battery? That's what they think is happening. Like, we're going to give you a battery, you own the battery, it's $30,000. How on earth could the company possibly do that? That's really what it comes out to. And it's a pretty simple answer when you look at if you read into and not read into, but if you listen to that quick 2.5 minute video about the battery program, and then you read or you listen to the testimonial from Catrice Johnson, where she talks right at the end of her 2 minute testimonial about how the company actually makes money and reduces the cost of the battery by getting paid back through the utility company. That's the answer. You're going to get paid. Our company is going to get paid back through the utility company, not through the customer's bank account. And that's the key aspect of it. When people realize that, wow, you can charge the battery when it's cheap, and then when energy's expensive, sell it back to the utility at a higher price than what you charged it at. Wow, that's amazing, but only with a battery. And so when you start thinking about that is the number one question that comes up, is how can Think Energy Well get a battery on somebody's home that costs $30,000? What's the catch? Sounds too good to be true. And that's the best part about what we're doing. Anytime something's too good to be true, you've got them. You just have to explain it in 2 seconds. You just have to know that response and let them know and be confident that, yeah, this is a real program. It sounds too good to be true until it's actually not too good to be true. It's real. And that's the key element, with that question. That's the number one question that comes up.
Yeah, there's no question. It's definitely the number one. So having that exactly, Tony, it's just that all of a sudden shifts the whole narrative of the rest of the conversation because then it's like, okay, what do I got to do? How do I get, what do I got to do to get it? And the good news is right now, because it started yesterday, is when you sign up an autosave customer and they live in a home, they're going to get an immediate email right while you're with your client from the company that says you've pre-qualified for the battery. Let's take it to the next level, right? Let's take it to the next step. So it's not something that is going to happen 2 days from now. No. So what I guess the marching orders is to get everybody on autosave, right? Because that's going to be generating a lot more of your volume on the battery. So, but that's an instant process. So I don't know if anyone's done that today. I mean, it just started, I think, yesterday afternoon. Maybe Mark Milstein has done it. Mark, you got a couple of customers today. Are you with us tonight? Oh, there he is. You're with us. He never lets me down. He's always around. Hey, Mark. Mark's the
Yep.
lead. He's the leader of your market, everyone. Mark Milstein, I'm gonna call him a superhero because he's the superhero of batteries. Have you entered any customers in today, Mark? I know that they
Yes, so we answered a customer and she's not eligible for the battery, but we put 4 battery customers into today.
okay, good. So did that email get generated right away?
Yep, an email got generated right exactly as they promised. In fact, I had the people send it to me just because I wanted to verify it with them. So yeah, it's working just like it's supposed to.
Wow. Well, listen, Super Battery Man, listen, can you tell everybody what are you up to? I mean, where are you at? I mean, have you gotten a dozen yet, or how many batteries have you gotten so far?
No, I rather not talk about that. That would be embarrassing. But you and I are going to talk tomorrow because we have 2 meetings tomorrow. So
Yes, we do. Listen, I can't
I'm,
wait.
I'm bringing a few people at 11, and then we're having so if anybody's in Chicago and want to come to an evening when Brendan has volunteered his time at 7 o'clock at the same location tomorrow night. So I'm
Yes.
hoping to we're hoping to fill the room with standing room only. So
Yeah, well, I think we're going to, and I think it's because you're leading the way with incredible leadership skills and doing a great job of educating your consumers. Because you are doing an amazing job. I mean, obviously, it's been great. So, in your experience, Mark, have you obviously you've had a lot of qualified ones that went through the process. A couple haven't, but that's you're not going to get it. We're not going to get everybody, but the overall process has been good.
the enrollment process has been phenomenal. We're having a little, as you know, heard today, we're having a couple little hiccups, but we'll get them straightened out. And I like every morning when I open my computer and ding, 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 I have this one's been accepted and this one's been accepted, and so Tony, you should be smiling because I mean, eventually it's just going to go all the way up the chain. So. It's,
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's going to be smiling. All the partners on this call. That's why this is the Partner Plus call. All the partners on this call are smiling right now. They're loving Mark Milstein.
We love you,
No
Mark.
doubt.
Listen, for anyone that wants to know why we're all laughing and smiling and loving him and calling him all sorts of superhero names, $50 goes into the partner pool for every one of you tell him. So that's why you need to get to partner everybody, right? Because there's a
Right.
lot of Mark Milsteins out there that are going to be, as we get bigger as a company, there's going to, because if you don't think Mark's going to have a great week this week, bringing all sorts of people to take a look at the business and actually do what he's doing, that's what it's all about. It's just about educating and duplicating. And all of a sudden, his leverage business starts to get even more exciting. I can guarantee you that Mark will get more excited a month from now when he finds out that 10 or 11 or 12 of his teammates are all putting in the batteries just like he is. And that's when this business gets to be really, really exciting. And that's where teamwork comes in. And then
Right.
you're about to do that. So I'm excited to work with you this week, Mark. And hopefully you'll be there with Fallquist on Thursday night. I would imagine you wouldn't miss that, right?
No, you can't miss that. I keep telling you guys, you got to move it a little farther north, though. Where we're going to be? We're going to Oak Brook. Is that where we're going to be? Oak Brook.
Yeah.
That's still a little further south than we know Northsiders would like, but we'll get there. We'll get there. We'll try to bring a few people with us. So.
Mark, it sounds to me, and congratulations, sounds to me you would drive to New Jersey, so don't kid nobody, Mark.
Listen.
I think I told you last week, these an opportunity only comes around a few times in your life. You better
Yep.
get on board while it's there, because if you
Yep.
don't, you're going to pass it up.
That's right. You're
That's
100% correct, Mark.
Well, I can
100%.
also tell you that there's a guy by the name of Brian Kimbrough. I just
Oh,
I'm pulling you
There
in,
he
buddy.
is.
Listen, you can't get away from us, man. We got to come up with a superhero name for you too, because you're leading the charge.
Battery Man.
Oh,
He's BK the Battery Man.
BK, tell us, how's it going for you, BK? Are you having some fun with the battery or what?
Yeah, man. How's everybody doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
loud
hear
and
you.
clear.
What's going on, family? Y'all looking good, man. Everybody's looking great.
I
Yeah,
guess
man.
it must be the battery rubbing off on us. But listen, tell us, Brian, how you doing, man? You guys you're neck and neck. You guys are leading the charge. Everyone's doing so well. Your team is amazing.
Yeah. Hey, man. Just the process that is given to us is so sweet. To be able to have the company already pre-qualify your people, and then all you have to do is get in contact with them. Man, I've been loving that. And from that, when the people see the opportunity and see that, oh man, I could get one of them, I'm starting to get people referring more people. So you'll be seeing a lot of autosaves coming in.
Yeah, I
These
love
people want
that.
these batteries.
key.
They're expecting another big storm out here tomorrow. So there are already people who's like, man, I gotta get these. Give me a battery. So
Hey, Brian,
Yes,
I
sir.
want to hit on something that you've been doing. You immersed yourself to the process. You went to your house, right? You were there when you had to go through it, but then you walked a few other people from your neighborhood. And I called you one day and I said, "Hey, Bri, how long is it taking you?" And you said, "John, I got it down to 12 minutes with the photos, the application." Can you
Yep.
speak about that to everybody on here? That it's like riding a bike for you?
man, I mean, because it just step by step. It tells you exactly what to do from each page, and so it's easy. I wanted to see each step in real time. So I went to one of my fraternity brother's house, and we went through the entire thing, and it was just like, okay, you ready to go? Click here, click there. Shows you your information. Showed him his address and everything. Is everything correct on here? Yes. Click here. Go to the next screen. I mean, and we were just going right through it. It asked for his, last for his social. Did a soft check. Oh, okay, you're approved. You're all good. And then we started taking pictures, man, and started taking those pictures, man, and uploading them. And once everything got uploaded, and hit another couple more checks and submitted, and that was it.
Brian, so tell
Checked on
everybody
my clock. It was 12 minutes.
Wow. Brian, tell everybody on here about the photos, right? What are the key things so you don't get rejected that you could share with everybody?
So it'll tell you like to take a close up picture, right? So you can see the I don't know what the top part of the your circuit breaker is called.
Amps.
Main breaker.
Yeah, the main breaker. They need to see that actual amperage on there. So you got to take a close enough picture to take that. Got to step back to make sure you can read the panels, on the circuit breaker. Then they want you to step back 3 to 5 feet to see the wall, to see if we can mount the batteries there, things like that. And then from there, they want you to take a different angle, taking it from looking down the wall, looking down the other wall. Then we had to take pictures of the stairwell coming down to where it was at, the driveway, and outside the meter and all of that. And once we did all of that, it was a wrap.
Nice. I love it. It's easy, man. It sounds like
Hey,
it's
Brendan, Phyllis Nash was chiming in like she's
Yep.
got the down low on this too.
Yeah,
Whoa,
Phyllis said it too.
Yeah,
Are you with
I've
us?
been to three homes.
Oh, there you are.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
3 homes because I, like Brian, wanted to see the process so then I can guide somebody if I'm not there. And you're taking the pictures, you find out the things that might be obstructions before you go so that they can see it if you take the pictures. And the homeowner is really excited because you're there participating and guiding them. And guys, if you don't go, I'm not saying that this will always be, but they think it's such a big deal that they say, oh, I can't do it till 2 days from now. I can't do it. And I'm like, I drove up in my girlfriend's garage. I said, I'm in the driveway. I'm coming in. I'm going to do this. And like Brian, it didn't take over 12 minutes. They're thinking it's a big production and it's not. So you just have to get in there so you know what to expect and you can share with them. It's not going to take me long. You don't even have to stop what you're doing. I'll walk around your house, take the pictures, and get it done.
Yep. Hey, look, Pow Pow even got her one in. She knows that we've been, me and
there's
Phyllis.
a lot coming in now. Actually,
Listen, I'm starting to see it. Listen, it's brand new. You guys were the first ones in, right? You're going to obviously, and what I love about this group for those of you that are just chiming in, it's not perfect. Nothing's perfect yet. I mean, we have a lot to do and a lot to improve upon, but the company spent some time with these leaders today to kind of hear what's happening in the field, and obviously they care, and they want to make sure that this experience is better for the future folks that are coming in. So,
and it's a partnership.
That's the partnership where
Brendan, let me paint their future for them. My cousin got his battery yesterday, and he is jacked up about it. He was already jacked up. He's in Texas, by the way. He was already jacked up about the rate plan that he was on. He was with another company for 20 years. He wouldn't be my customer. I've been in this industry for 17 years, and he would never, move over. And I finally got him to move over, and he qualified for the battery. And he sent me all these pictures and videos, and he went outside and recorded. This is what I want everybody to hear. He went outside and recorded with his phone, and then put it in the Chat GPT. And here's what chat says. This is pretty cool. Here's what I'm seeing. The home load, 3.78 kilowatts. Battery, 91% charge, battery output 3.78 kilowatts discharging. And then it breaks it down. That means the house is using 3.7 kilowatts. The battery is supplying all of the energy right now. You're not pulling power from the electric company right now. The battery's still at 91%. So it literally, he just got the battery yesterday. It's already fully charged, and he's already pulling. He's on the battery during peak hours of the day, and that's what's going to happen for people, and that's what's exciting. And while the installers are there putting the batteries in, guess what? Two of his neighbors come over, said, "What's going on here?" They already have my phone number, my link, and there's so much happening. And then I had another gentleman today in Texas that qualified for the batteries. Just a lot of excitement around it, and it does go a lot quicker in Texas. Obviously, it's still in the pilot phase, but these few batteries that are getting placed, it's pretty exciting to see how much it's benefiting the customers. And as Tony said, talking about Sandra in that video, how that literally saved her from having to move into
Right. That's huge.
different living quarters, I guess is the way to put it. So yeah, I mean, I like to say it's bigger than so I had a woman today who, it's ironic, she works for a title company. So I've been doing three-way calls with this one gentleman who has so many people qualified for these batteries. And he's taking himself out of the equation. So this works too, guys. So they already know that he brought him on for an electricity customer. So he decided that rather than him answering the questions, he's three-waying me on, letting me answer all their questions. And if I feel like the timing's right, I'm actually asking them about what they do and offering them the opportunity. And a couple of them are probably coming on Thursday, I hope. Not for sure. But point being is, as you're bringing your customers on to AutoSave, you get that what Tony said. The number one objection is this sounds too good to be true. And what I said to this woman, she works for a title company, or she owns a title company actually. And I said, well, you must be surrounded by attorneys. I said, why don't you let me show you why it's not too good to be true, and then you take it to these attorneys and let them go through the contract for you. And if you find anything that you think doesn't make this worth your while, I want you to call me back and let me know. But she was like, this is too good to be true. What's the catch? And I said, listen, here's the truth. Let's be fully transparent. Our company, if you envision it like a vending route, where a vending company places vending machines where it's most profitable, we are looking for homes that we can put these batteries on, and we're stabilizing the grid, is what I told her. I said, so as we're placing batteries on homes, your benefit is the side effect of what's really happening here. You get this battery, that's backup battery system. You get locked into this, in Texas, a rate, in Illinois, a percentage of savings, and our company is doing what they do. They're stabilizing the grid, and you reap the reward of that by allowing us to place the battery system on the side of your home. And so, I eased her a little bit, and she is gonna take this to her attorneys, because the contract is 17 pages, 18 pages, I think. So, some people are going to do their due diligence, as they should. But, understand that nobody's ever done what we're doing right now. So we're truly disrupting an industry, and it's a lot of excitement. And Mother Nature out in Chicagoland has been our greatest salesperson, because every time they have a storm, the power goes out, and people are just, they're open to it. So it's pretty
Can I
exciting.
share something else that is happening? An article that was in the newspaper yesterday in the Lincoln Park area. They're saying they're going to build a substation, and the people are objecting to it. But ComEd says unless we build this substation, the grid can no longer support this area. So there will be brownouts and blackouts, and that was in yesterday's paper.
Yeah.
Wow. That's going to be in my presentation tomorrow night.
I'll send you the article.
Send that article.
Maybe tomorrow. I'll be debuting that article tomorrow. Listen, just go to Google and put in energy crisis in Lake Tahoe and watch what they're dealing with. There's
Oh, I
Oh,
saw
that's
that. Oh my
yeah.
God.
I mean,
that's
and by the
insane.
way, a lot of states, by the way, when they're building these data centers, they're creating the data centers as priority one and moving the residents to priority two. That's never happened before. I mean, what that means is when the power's not being met, they're going to put the power on the data center before they put it on your home. That's crazy to me. You know what I mean?
That
But
is
that's
crazy.
what's
It's
happening
scary.
in Tahoe. So if you don't think that's what I'm saying. We're the visionaries. So if you think about it, what Phyllis is doing and Brian and Mark, they're spending that time. They know how valuable it is to have that time with a homeowner because when those batteries, and let's say, Brian, let's say you guys both get 10 batteries sold this month, and in August they get installed. That's when your business is going to explode because then all of a sudden you are the ones that have the battery testimonies. You're the ones that are going with your friends. They're doing the videos. And then when the videos get put out into your into your social media, because there's no restrictions on doing that, right? Because you're just not going to videos are videos, right? There's factual. What you say might get you in trouble, but the videos are going to be powerful and everyone's going to want to know, like to Kurt's point, people are going to be coming to you saying, how do I get one of those? And
Yep.
and that's when it's going to go. So it's kind of like two phases of rocket fuel. First phase is now because the energy's here. We're all there. Leaders are in your market. We're showing the plan, showing the vision, trying to get as many batteries going, right? But then phase two is when the batteries actually get installed. And then that's when you guys don't even realize what's about to happen to your lives. If you think it's exciting now, 6 months from now, when you wake up every morning and you see that there's 50 more batteries in your downline that got signed contracts from the night before, you're going to be like, what?
Yeah.
At 3 points per in the compensation plan, all of a sudden people are going to be hitting ranks a lot faster. There's just so many things that are going to be so positive in Illinois. And like I said, this momentum and this excitement, we just got to lead the charge for the whole nation to see what's possible. So, Phyllis, Brian, Mark, thank you. And David, once again, thanks for being our special guest tonight. You guys, our Partner Plus is coming to an end as much as we hate to end it, but we have a busy week ahead of us. Please come out and see us all. I know Mark and Brian, I'm going to tag you guys. You're going to be sitting in the front row on Thursday night because you guys are going to give us testimonies. Maybe Phyllis will slap you in there too because people that are doing the business, we want to know, and we want that room of 400 people to know that you guys are doing it and the process is simple, right? It's not easy, but it's simple, and that's really that's what that room needs to hear on Thursday night. And they're gonna love me. They're gonna
Can I
love.
say something, Brian? Brendan,
Yeah.
really, what you just mentioned a minute and a half ago, it's going to change Brian, Phyllis's, my life, Linda's, anybody that's working this business in the Illinois area, is when we get that first battery hookup and we
Oh,
can bring people to show them what it looks like and what it does. That's all our teams are going to explode.
That's when it becomes
So
real.
hey,
that is
hey,
that is what
Mark.
I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for that first one to get hooked
Yep.
up as quickly as possible because that's the testament of what's going to happen here, and it's just going to explode once
Don't
that.
use that word, Mark.
My customers already know we having big parties at every house that gets a battery.
Barbecue by the battery.
Yes.
Barbecue by the battery. Yeah.
Right.
How
Well,
about
Brendan, you know what the message
Bring your
really
own
needs
bottle
to
by
be
the
here?
battery.
Yeah.
Right.
The message needs to be, though, everybody on here that you've interviewed tonight, Brian, Mark, Phyllis, Lynette, the people who've gone out, Linda Powell, they went out and put in the autosave customers. Autosave is the key. So, for those like New Jersey, Pennsylvania, DC, Delaware, Ohio, where you might be feeling a little left out right now, understand that you're just getting a pregame right now. You're seeing what's going on, and you have a perfect view of what you need to be focused on in your market. And that's what's going to happen as we go to each one of these markets. And then Texas is just its own animal. We can't even compare with what we do in Texas to what is going on outside of Texas. But Texas is extremely exciting as well.
Hey, Kirk? How about Brenda Boyd, right, and Don Boyd?
Yeah.
They had a power outage. Their whole neighborhood was out. She turned every light on in her entire house, went down the street with a video camera showing nothing but darkness, and her house lit up like a Christmas tree. Now, if that's not advertisement, she had everybody in her neighborhood coming to her house. I didn't know you have a generator. Nope, I don't have a generator. Well, how do you have power on?
Actually,
I
they
got
said
batteries.
I didn't hear your generator is what they said. I
Yeah,
didn't hear your
yeah.
generator. Yeah, there is no generator. Yeah.
So one's going to lead. Listen, folks, the people that go get 20 or 30 in, it's going to lead them to hundreds and hundreds.
Well, like I said, my cousin has already led to two more. And that's in a day. People
Wow.
are concerned. So it's going to be. I hope this company's prepared for the growth and the not the battery explosion, but the growth explosion of our network is going to be off the charts.
Yeah, let's load the room up, folks. Even if you're not from Chicago, make the calls. I'm telling you, it's worth it. Peel back the onion. You're going to know people who know people who know people from Chicago.
Yep.
It's going to be amazing. Well, listen, thanks again for joining us this Partner Plus Tuesday night. We'll see you guys next week. Hopefully, we'll see some of you this week, and then for those that are out of state, we'll see you next week. And go get your AutoSave customers, get them lined up. So, thanks everybody. Thanks Kirk. Thanks Bella. Great to see you, John, Tony, everyone that participated tonight. Thanks everyone.
Night, everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Night.
Good night,
Thank
everybody.
you. Good night. Good night.